or what is the session about? Enrich your word power. A lot of candidates, those who the aspiring bankers or the prospective bankers, the English is a problem as such. Besides English, current affairs and GK. When it comes to English, usually they master English grammar for two reasons. If they're lucky, they get a good master, then they can master English grammar. Otherwise also they're brilliant, they can master English grammar. Second reason, grammar is limited. It is static. Does it change grammar? When I was a boy, I read the same tenses. Today I'm teaching the same tenses, no change at all. Because it is limited, static, one can easily master grammar. Then what are the other two areas? One is reading comprehension, the other is vocabulary. These are like, each one is an ocean, it takes a lot of time. Each one takes a lot of time. Between the two, if you take the words, how many words English has got? About 8 lakh words. And because many candidates, they don't have the habit of reading regularly, they are not exposed to the language, they don't have a lot of words. And they try to mug up the words. They take the list of words, list of synonyms, list of antonyms. That's a wrong approach. So today I'm going to tell how many words are there, how many words English people know, how many words you have to know, and what are the different models based on vocabulary, the models, how to answer the questions related to vocabulary, and also I'm going to spend time on two approaches how to enrich your word power. Okay? So we'll start with a quote. What is a quote? While without grammar, very little can be conveyed, without vocabulary, nothing can be conveyed. So which is more important, grammar or vocabulary? So who is this Wilkins? He was a professor at University of Reading in the UK. He has written a lot of books on this subject, so I have brought his quote. A relevant quote. Now we'll see how many words are there in English. Whatever is important, make a note, otherwise just have a look and listen. How many words are there? English, the language of success, has about 8 lakh words. And all these words, of these words, 5 lakh words are general and 3 lakh words are technical. They go with specific professions. Now comes the question, how are these words classified? Types of words. All these words are classified into two groups. What is the first one? Structural words are words with a function. Structural words are words with a function. What is the second group? Content words, words with a meaning. When you have two groups, you should ask the question, which group is important and why is it important? So here, to enrich your word power, you should focus on content words. If you take all these words, they come under or they belong to the 8 parts of speech. How many parts of speech are there? 8. And 4 parts of speech come under content words. What are those? Here I have written 4 parts of speech come under content words. The first one is verbs. Second is, not in the same order, nouns, then adjectives, then adverbs. If you want to enrich your word power, you want to enrich or learn content words, you have to learn a lot of nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. Very simple. Now the question is, how many words you have to learn? Before that, the question, how many words do English people know? Can you make out? Big enough. A typical Englishman knows about 20,000 words. Out of 8 lakh, only 20,000. An intellectual knows about 40,000 words. The question here, how many words they know, is not important. How many words you have to know is important. So what is the next question? How many words do you have to know? You should know about 5,000 effective words from the exam point of view. How many words? Now the $1 million question, how many words do you think you know? I'll give the choice. 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 effective words. Are you guys listening? So how many words? There's no fifth option. Fine. So here 5,000 words to show the same graphically. How many words are there? 8 lakh words. And an intellectual knows 40,000 words. A typical Englishman knows 20,000. and you belong to this segment, how many words are you supposed to know? 5,000 words. Then comes the question, which 5,000 words? Because 8 lakh words are there. Who is going to tell you which 5,000 words? How will you know which 5,000 words? Then you should ask these questions. Which 5,000 words do you have to learn? Words frequently used in the editorials of newspapers, especially the Hindu, and articles of national brackets, Frontline, India Today, and international magazines, international, the Economist magazine. These words you have to learn, 5,000 words from the Hindu editorials or the newspaper, from international magazines like the Economist. You cannot learn words at random, that's a sheer waste of time. Okay? Now the most important question, if we are intelligent enough, we should ask this question. Why should you learn? Or you have to pose the question, why should we learn? How many marks are there? Minimum 5 questions based on vocabulary. That means 5 marks assured. And what are the various models? Now listen very carefully, this is useful. You must be knowing one word fillers. A sentence with a blank, you have to choose one word. What is the second one? One word fillers are rather easy. 2 word fillers, difficult. Because how many options do they give? 5 options. Each option, how many words? 2 words. Means 5 pairs. 5 pairs means how many words? 10 words. You have to know at least the meanings of 5 or 6 words. Only then you can make out. Otherwise it becomes a blind guess. So that way very difficult. What is a recent one? These 2 traditional. First, easy. Now in the recent past, multiple word fillers. Remember, you got a few models where 3 sentences and first 2 sentences 1 word, third sentence a different word. So multiple words, these are very difficult. Within the stipulated time period, one reason. Second reason, because of your range. How many words you know, based on that also very difficult. What is the next model? This is also very difficult. What is it? You have seen recently a word with 4 examples, usage point of view, and correct usage. You have to select a sentence without the right usage. 3 are correct usage, 1 is not correct usage. Very difficult. And this is CAT model, they have not given so far, but I am expecting this, any moment they may give. What is it? Word meanings and examples, and you have to match. They take a simple word, they give 5 meanings of that word, 1 column. Second column, they give 5 sentences, 5 examples. So you have to match the meanings and the examples. Imagine one question, how many sentences you have to work on? 5. That means for 1 mark, you have to read how many sentences? It takes a lot of time or not? So what is the deciding factor here? What is the bottom line? Speed. Speed is important. Next, wrong word forms. This is a regular one. Morning also someone, afternoon someone approached. Silence killer. Silence killer, right or wrong? What is the correct expression? Silent killer. What is the reason? Silence is a noun form, but here we have to use the adjective form. So according to me, this, I strongly believe in this, I say with a lot of conviction, if you are really good at word forms, in any bank exam you can get 5 marks. I can give in writing. Could be from the passage, could be from close, could be from fillers, could be from spot the errors. All these areas, this knowledge helps you. Word forms, very useful. And what is the next one? Based on the context, passage, they ask the questions. This is again very difficult. 8th one. What is the 8th one? Sync model. What is the sync model? Actually, this was started by RBI. Now other banks, they have started following. Sync model, they give 2 sentences. But actually RBI, they would give 2 sentences, 2 words in bold, not blank. And they would give 5 words. You have to select a word which can replace the 2 words which are in bold in each of the sentences. But banks so far what they have done, 2 sentences with 2 blanks. And you have to choose the word which goes with both the blanks, and the meaning should not change. According to me, this is a tough one, not that easy. Especially RBI standards, very difficult. And sometimes they straight away ask questions, choose a synonym or choose the antonym. These are the various models that have been. Now, how to answer vocabulary questions? First, you have to understand the context. Do you remember quite often I asked you, the context is positive or negative? Once you know for sure the context is positive, then you have to eliminate all the negative words. Very simple. So this helps you a lot. What is the second one? Think of word combinations. This is very important. According to me, after word forms, the second most important skill you have to develop, word combinations. This will also fetch a lot of marks in the exam. You should know the word combinations, then you can easily make out the correct option. What is the third one? Imagine you could not get the right word, then try to guess based on the prefix, suffix and root. Usually you can get the correct option. There is, according to one study, if you learn about 50 prefixes, suffixes and roots, you can unlock the meanings of 1 lakh words. How many words? 1 lakh words. So extremely useful. Then use grammar knowledge. This always helps you. Imagine in a blank you have to use a noun, and there's only one noun among the options, you will choose that one. Very simple. Take elimination approach. Always vocabulary related, take elimination approach. That saves your time. Now how to learn? Usually people don't resort to this one. They always try to take isolated approach. They try to learn words in isolation. Take some word from somewhere or 10 words, mug up. Absolutely wrong. So two approaches, this is the best approach. What is it? Learn from the context. If you learn from the context, please listen very carefully. There are two advantages. One, you can remember easily, you can recollect easily. First advantage. The second and the most important advantage, usually if you don't read a lot, you get stuck with the primary meaning. You don't go beyond that. Today I'm going to show. When you try to learn from the context, you understand the same word has a secondary meaning, and you get exposed to the secondary and tertiary meanings. That is the basic, that is the advantage. That helps you in the exam. So this is the best approach. Always try to learn from the context. So what is this about? It is about rainforests. I'll read out the first sentence. I will try to tell you how it is beneficial if you learn from the context. Rainforests are acknowledged treasures of nature. Now generally the word, any convent educated boy or girl, hope you guys are listening. Any convent educated boy or girl, you ask the meaning of the word treasure, immediately he talks about money, related to jewels, money, financial thing. He or she will not think of the valuable thing. But treasure has, in this context, does it talk about money? Does it talk about jewelry? Does it talk about diamonds? No. So, rainforests are acknowledged treasures of nature. Here, what is the meaning of that? A quantity of precious metals, gems, that is a typical meaning. And what is the other meaning? Or valuable objects. Here, what are the objects? Don't take the literal meaning. Flora and fauna. That's what it means. So the secondary meaning is what? Something valuable. That valuable need not be diamonds, need not be jewelry, need not be money. It could be something else. This is what you learn from the context. What is the next one? Conservation. Many of these forests, including those in India's Western Ghats and the Northeast, are priority conservation sites. What is the meaning of the word conservation? Prevention of wasteful use of a resource. Conservation. Today everyone talks about conservation of resources. Then easy to remember. But look at this one. Conservation sites because of their deserved reputation as biodiversity hotspots. What is the typical meaning of hotspot? An area where the temperature is more compared to the surrounding region. But here is that the meaning? What is this? Hotspot in this context means what? A place of significant activity, danger or violence. But here what is it? A place of activity, significant activity. The plants, the animals, their life cycle, all the activities. It has a positive connotation, not the word hotspot has a positive connotation as well as a negative connotation. Here it is positive or negative? Positive, obviously. Intensified. Intensify means what? Become or make more intense, to focus more, to put in more effort. But look at this word and this sentence. Rainforests are known to harbor. Now what is the meaning of the word harbor? Which part of speech is it? Typically, noun. What is the meaning? You all know the harbor. It goes with the shipping industry. But if you don't read, you get stuck there. You always think harbor means that. But what does it, here it has been used as which part of speech? As a verb. So as a verb, what is the meaning? Give a home or shelter to someone or something. One more meaning, to entertain or to have a particular idea. He harbors ill feelings. Means what? He entertains a lot of negative thoughts. Another meaning. Will you be able to guess this meaning if you don't read a lot? Very difficult. Now this is what is this said? Reinforce. Reinforce means what? Strengthen an existing feeling, idea or habit. Quite often I use the word, you have to consolidate, reinforce. Now what is the meaning of the word eloquently? If I ask a typical convent educated boy or girl, he or she says, sir, to speak clearly using the right word at the right time. Simple he may say or she may say, to speak clearly. Eloquence goes with clearly and fluently also. It goes with speech. This is what people think. But here, what is the sentence? The importance of insects and other similar lower life forms is eloquently brought out by Pulitzer Prize winner. So here eloquently means what? It goes with speaking or writing? Writing. That means what? The word eloquently goes with speech as well as spoken English as well as written English. If you don't know this, in the exam they give the word eloquently and you may reject this word. A typical convent educated boy or girl, if I give a sentence with a blank, then among the options he or she sees this word eloquently, they will not choose this word because they have the fixed idea. Eloquence goes with what? Speech. But here the context is about speech or writing. Write, it is about writing. Do you understand what I say? He's a writer basically. So the point here, try to learn from a context that will help you in the long run. Never ever take an isolated approach. Now sometimes what happens, we always have the ideal situation and we have a situation where it is like Hobson's choice. Hobson's choice means what? No choice at all. You have a lot of time, then you should go for the first option. Imagine you don't have a lot of time because of various reasons you cannot read every day, you cannot learn from the context. Then obviously the second choice is learn from the categories. What is it? Categories. How many categories are there? 9 categories. What are these? Antonyms, synonyms, one-word substitutes, homophones, misspelled words, confusing words, prefixes, suffixes, roots, idioms and phrasal verbs. But this is not the right approach again, not the first choice, the second choice. Now generally when you try to learn words, what happens? You forget after some time. Why do you forget? Because you don't spend time on that. After some time you forget those words. You feel you know but you cannot tell the exact meaning. So based on that we have 3 zones. What are the 3 zones? Known zone, only a few hundred words. Twilight zone. Twilight means what? Vague zone. You have thousands of words here. That is a disturbing zone. Unknown zone, lakhs of words. Don't worry about that zone. Okay. Then how to improve your vocabulary? Read a lot, first tip. And pick up words. That is very important. Don't learn in isolation. Pick up words from diverse contexts. Develop themes and concepts. Under the themes you write the words. Nature, one theme. Write the related words. Species, one theme. Write the related words. Then use mnemonics to remember words. Remember the word mnemonics. Means what? Memory techniques using codes and all that. Make own examples, but these should be real and practical. Very important. Because we always remember what is related to us. What is not related to us, we cannot remember. So your sentences or examples should be real and practical, related to your lifestyle. Very important. And the last and the most important, what is it? Revise frequently and take vocabulary tests regularly. Then you remember. This is all for today. Thank you very much. I would like to stop here.